It's a historically very solid draft from ViCi. I love Pugna and Lion. It's very obvious synergy. You decrep somebody, you finger them. It's going to do more than that pure damage number would be. And it's just the sustained damage, really. It's limited. And to your point, you've got Wyvern on Beast Coast, probably the counter to Void in the current patch. Cold Embrace for defensive purposes throughout the chrono. Winner's Curse for an offensive turnaround.
I don't know if that's respect tipping onto Stinger or not. Either way, maybe it's trying to make him feel like he's being watched, and he's very close to 3 heroes of VG Gaming. The Meepo, Chris Luck, already showing himself. Wraith Fire Blast begin. It's arrow leveled first from Mirana. He's already skilled, so the blinding light pushes him back closer. It won't be enough damage to get him, however, but it means the bottom rune then becomes the next contest. Luckily, Eurus quicker on the click, and Whisper unable to gather.
Gets the hits off, though. That'll be 2 tangos worth of damage done. And what is this? A Meepo mid, as expected, against the Pugna. Not really much Ori can do to out-CS him here.
That timing's a little bit off, but it won't matter when the Gush is there. A quick stun over on the Mirana, stopping any kind of extra range damage that will go underneath the tower. Stinger actually walking up to blinding light. Wasn't really going to achieve anything after that point, but either way, it looked very manly.
Really nice job. Paparazzi down bottom blocked it into his own tower, so we'll be able to get level 2 right off the bat. And top, you have an aggro tri-lane into a Wraith.
Going again, top lane. They just start off with a Gush, then the stun, follow up into the arrow, and K1.
Yeah.
Like, having that armor removed makes it difficult to burn the south.
Tide's actually far better in aggro tri-lanes than people realize. Gush is one of the best level 1 abilities in Dota 2. 40% slow for 4 seconds, 100 damage, and the -4 armor reduction. It's very difficult up here for Beast Coast to make plays. And bottom, Void should be just fine 1-on-2. Won't CS too well, but he brought a ton of regen up down here.
The arrows just keep coming, and Stinger continues to protect with the blinding light. And Chris Luck really needs this second Meepo. He keeps getting decrepified, so he can't get last hits. It's 5-3 to a 2-1. It was a lot worse than that. But he just needs more Meepos. It's never a good thing to be a lonely Meepo.
That's the second game in a row. He's actually going to get a free D ward. ViCi did not scout out, was that? It might have actually been the previous series. No, it was last game. Yeah, Chris Luck just got a sentry, bought it himself, and easily gets himself an extra 100 gold in XP. Bottom, Eurus is suffering, but he still has that salve, so should be okay for now. Up top, this is really nice. You've got PYW ensuring that he won't get this stack off on the easy camp. He's going to do his best to block it. Now that you've got some semblance of lane control top, you've got an edge for your Tide. It's okay to rotate down bottom.
I should like how PYW stacks the camp himself and then arrows the big creep, so efficiency for this Mirana as much as possible.
You start with the Bassi too, really effective when you're playing with the Tide Hunter.
So how do you feel about like the farm that's coming in right now for the Faceless Void? Normally a hero you want to see some good items on so he can do damage inside the Chronosphere. Is that essential, or is the Pugna able to make up for that?
He's not really... I don't think his farm is the one you need to think about too much if you're ViCi. You want to make sure your Tide Pugna are off to a good start, right? Because it's the Meepo that's the concern. Void in this game has a tough time dealing his damage. He's playing against a Wraith King. There's going to be a Coddle ult, a Wyvern ult. There's so much to disrupt your DPS during Chrono.
So you run him as a 3 instead. It's like,
in a way.
Like you're my off-laner controller and all my damage will come from a Tide Hunter. But that seems difficult to pump into a Chronosphere.
It's more about the team fight. You don't want to be in a position where Meepo is so far ahead that all of a sudden he's able to just ravage your lines. You've got a Mirana, you've got a line. It's actually important that the supports have a game because they're the ones that actually have the burst damage to kill off a Meepo.
I'm liking this from Chris Luck. He actually made it so his primary Meepo was the one that was being attacked. Thanks to the Dire Observe Ward, he'll also see the rotation in of the Mirana, but then able to poop his Meepos back in, sees the arrow coming, able to dodge it. But it meant he was able to TP his primary Meepo back, heal it up, and then come back into the lane. And this top lane is actually really good with aggression. Chakra, once again, this great enabler.
Oh, and look, I love this from PYW. He's arrowing camps in the Meepo's jungle. This is exactly what you want to do. You don't care about farming it. You just want to make sure Meepo doesn't.
He's lucky enough to even get a courier kill, but doesn't see it.
He's got 48 damage, Toby.
No, you'd have to He's got a couple of leaps to work with. You have to get the perfect leaps directly after the fortification.
Meepo already into the jungle. This is to be expected. Top lane, K1, a little bit of trouble. Like the decision to pick up the chainmail. We already said how impactful that minus armor from Zhao Yi's Tide would be.
And Stinger does push him back. It's easy enough with Blinding Light. Never really feeling too threatened. That decrep into Blast, though, keeps removing 1/3 of Chris Luck's life. And Ori loves it when he can find underneath the tower because he's hitting both Meepo as well as that tier 1 tower. And with Regeneration Rune, he's being very liberal with his abilities. And there's the Meepo TP back once more. Everyone's just chilling for the moment. There's runes in 8 seconds.
Yeah, this is so cool.
And there's a Mirana to go down. There's your first blood. Beast Coast able to claim it. They will end up losing out. Actually, it'll be a 2-for-2 rune trade-off.
This is so sick from Ori. That regen rune got so much value. There's at least 5 decreps for free. Or sorry, Nether Blasts onto that tower. And he still had the regen running. It is 5 minutes in. That tower is at 472 HP rather. And that's how you beat Meepo. We've talked about it. To take out these map control based cores, Tinker, Meepo, Brood even, you kill their towers. All of a sudden the jungle's nowhere near as safe.
Very smart for Schofield. He has to come into this mid lane, drag the creep wave off. And Ori's moving deeper inside the jungle, wrapping around behind. But it keeps the catapult of the Radiant side away from the tier 1 tower. But it won't stop Ori from then draining the life out of this Winter Wyvern. He's still got Cold Embrace to get that life back again. But Ori is making sure everyone's looking his way while Whisper just wants to jaunt out of that bottom lane fight.
I love the aggression from Ori. That's exactly how you play this. It's a Wraith King top. It's a Meepo. There's nobody that's really going to be able to rotate mid. And another kill top. How is Wraith King caught? How are they killing a Tide? What's happening
It's
up there?
back-to-back Wraith Fire Blast. They chakra him up so he's able to get more of these hits in. Arrow flies forward. Schofield, perfect stop. And he won't stay alive from this, however. Ori does way too much damage with that Nether Blast, taking both the tier 1 tower as well as the Wyvern's life. And this now allows ViCi Gaming to threaten that dire jungle, but they need the tier 1 tower in top lane to go with it.
He's just going to keep rolling. This is how you got to play if you're Ori. He's got to take over the map. He is the burst damage, the ganker, and the tower damage for his lineup.
Good time dilation on bottom lane. There's a Hex as well. DY is going to get the chain stun into. If they get some locks, Whisper, he'll just jaunt himself away to save DY. Schofield getting drained out by Ori. Combo again with the Mirana. It's a good lethal combination, and Chris may want to have a couple of friends here. Trez just got delivered. He doesn't have any level of control. He went for a 0-4-2-1 build.
That's the way you ideally want to play the Meepo most of the time. I've seen some early Earthbinds, but in theory, you get level 4 and you just start farming the jungle, much like Chris Luck's been doing.
So does VG need to keep that pressure going? Like we see Ori move back. It looks like an efficiency shrine for VG Gaming. Do they just turn around and go back in again? I'm not seeing any observer wards remaining on the dire side of the river.
I mean, you just go play with your Tide, right? He's got Ravage active. You've got Veil now. Yeah, and you can actually do so much work on K1 here.
Opportunity on top. Is there going to be any kind of TP support coming in? Wraith King does not have the mana for reincarnation. By throwing the Wraith Fire Blast, he lost it.
It's okay. Nobody can really mess with Ori is the thing. He's just way too powerful. Beast Coast's team fight is not online until their supports are 6. That won't happen until the 10-minute tomes. Whisper is having a hell of a game though, with Veil already on Courier. 36 and 9. What's the Void? 47-4. Not as far ahead as maybe you'd expect. And now he's got to play conservatively. This Void is already level 6, approaching 7. Meepo trying to beat Mirana to the haze. Should do so.
Need to get a Splinter Blast to stop that push coming on the top lane. Doesn't really stop the blasting, however. And here's that movement. Meepo fast and in. Tidehunter wrapping around, but they really want to kill off the Pugner. He forces down and will take out the tower. There's that one put up an Earthbind, and there's a lot more Meepos where that came from. Ravage tries to create some space, but look at K1. He's wrapping around the side. He's looking for the retreating target. He wants Ori, but DY finds K1 instead. Here's your more proofing onto Zhao Yi. Caught inside the tree lines. It's Decrepify, making it difficult to get that easy attack in. One more will do it, but it wastes time, allowing everyone else to retreat. While on bottom lane, Blinding Light, they're waiting for Euros to try and time walk out. He's got Chronosphere available, does not actually have that time walk up, so Dream Coil instead.
Oh,
with
wow.
the Refuge, just nuke him down, and Euros brought down by Stinger and Whisper.
I caught napping. Got the Midas off. Good efficiency there. Very surprised he went for this item build, and also that he wasn't punished harder. He literally bought no items except for Stick, Quelling Blade, and Midas. And yet, he still was able to sustain up until that moment in this bottom lane. Really shocked that he died there. Probably didn't expect so many points in silence. Finger up now. Oh no, sorry, not yet. Well, he needs the tome on the line, and then they can look to go make a play on the Meepo.
I actually like that too, like for the Void with the Midas. He understands he's going to get a lot of money early on thanks to the game that Ori's been having, taking these early tier 1 towers.
It's more, you're gonna win late game, right? You just need to survive that long. Meepo, at a point, has no real way of staying alive against Ravage Chrono once we hit that 30, 35-minute mark.
Moonlight Shadow, ViCi Gaming. There is a Sentry Ward, however, so Whisper will have a little bit of information. Meanwhile, Stinger feels very much like bait. They're wrapping up this for the 10-minute runes. And up we go with the Winter Wyvern. Doesn't have 6, but the Dream Call is going to be good. The Blast, however, so much damage to the Wyvern. Chris Luck, they need more Meepos. It's a good Earthbind, Blinding Light pushing them out of the Will-O-Wisp. DY so low on life. Someone needs to hit him. The Blast, it won't be enough. The One charges, keep him alive. A jump forward. Eurus getting both the Bounty Rune and now looking for the kill into the Keeper of the Line. Mirana was the first to fall. The Cold Embrace protecting Stinger for the moment. You can take his mana, but you won't take, well, yeah, you'll take his life after the Cold Embrace wears off.
Yeah, but you can see him. Hector still farming away. He has his own Midas now. 1,000 gold ahead of the Void. You're gonna hit that same time, this typical Beast Coast timing. They're gonna get this Midas, Radiance, maybe a Blink, maybe a BKB on the Wraith King, and then you start to make plays through Meepo.
You like the Silver Edge build as well from Chris Luck. There's no Blink Dagger. There's no E-Blade. It's that play killing off the Mirana and then the battle for the rune. Just a little bit of a delay, that's all.
I think it is actually a pretty nice Silver Edge game. You can remove the Kraken shell from the Tide, be able to 100-0 stun lock him. But I think it's a little too early to start theory crafting that.
Yeah, it just feels a little quirky, and the fact he's prioritizing it as his item.
I always like it just because you have other Blink heroes on your team. Hang on, Chrono might come off in a second.
Yeah, they're looking for the Chrono into Arrow. Puck. No way to really stop him. The curse is available, and there will be a Cold Embrace. Here comes your curse out. Eurus. Oh, there's a nice stun from DY. They're really chaining this, and the Hex as well. Whisper. There was nothing more that Scarfell could have done then.
A lot of spells utilized, of course. Multiple ultimates, but they do finally find a kill on Whisper. And again, it's more impactful just because the Void literally just has a Midas. So the fact that he's able to find kills with this incredibly greedy decision, very nice for the squad. Arrow, ooh, will miss, grabs the Archer though.
Is our Shadow Blade reveal. With no Chronosphere up, I'm not seeing an Observer near the Sentry Ward, so it's already here. They're hunting to the bottom. And the Moonlight Shadow triggers as well. Chris, here comes your Earthbind. He catches the Mirana. He'll need more boost where that came from. Just keeping him chain controlled with the Earthbinds. Mirana will fall.
I'm sorry, Toby. In my head, I'm thinking Wraith King. You're talking about his Shadow Blade. I did not in a million years think
I was talking, I was saying Meepo, Chris Luck.
All right. I mean, the only downside is you don't farm quite as fast, but you can see it provides that solo kill potential, not just on the Mirana, but also the Pugna, the Lion. Like, you have 3 heroes, actually 4. You can kill the Void very easily, too, if you find it with Chrono down. So in that sense, I actually really like it.
Let's break the reincarnation. Support's coming in. Curse off cooldown in 3 seconds time to survive the space, but so will the Ravage. And they just blast down the Wyvern. You may as well just buy back if they have any intention of fighting. While in the back lines, there's the catch on the Mirana. She almost dies from that one last attack, but it won't be enough. With the Anchor Smash connecting Meepos, just trying to get a little bit more distance. Another Earthbind. They turn over towards the Pugna. The arrow flies forward, and Ori just nukes down Chris Luck. While Whisper hits the back lines. The Veil is up with a double Dream Core. They need more heroes to really fight. K1 now has his stun available once more. They're focusing down the Pugna. He's the big one to take, while Stinger, the Anchor Smash from Xiao Yi, making it so difficult for Beast Coast to find any level of damage. They need more friends. They need more damage output. The Orb's available, and he's waiting for the Veil to come off cooldown. And that's why Xiao Yi playing the range game and Void playing no game is Hand of Midas and wait for Chrono.
You're all right with that, though. If you're Beast Coast, you'd love to grab some more towers, but this fight started off rather poorly. Your Meepo and Wyvern dead off the bat. nice movement there from K1 to be here in time. Finishes off the Lion, and now Whisper with a great coil. And again, look at the chakras from Stinger, man. They're always on point, ensuring Whisper is going to get round after round of spells off. You turn a 2 for 0 into a 3 for 2. You're always happy with that kind of trade.
But how much damage does beastcoast need to start doing? You'd say they're happy with a fight like that. They have the top 2 net worth, but only barely. The Pugner is nipping on the heels of the Meepo. Is there like a bigger objective? Because it seems like ViCi Gaming want to be the aggressors. They're coming once again. Smoked up, there is no Ravage available. There's a double damage bottled up in the Pugner, and a Wraith King with no reincarnation. You just lost your Wyvern to Eurus in the mid lane, and now you're gonna lose the Keeper of the Light on the top lane at least. While they keep going on that mid, have they got enough with the control? The Faceless Void is brought down, and the TP is out. They're coming, at least one got out, but the Wraith King won't be so lucky.
That's such a cool move from ViCi. You get the free kill mid with a chrono into an arrow. It lulls the other Beast Coast heroes into a false sense of security, but there's still 3 smoked units moving towards top. They find Wraith King, the huge kill. He had not been able to finish his relic, was in spitting distance of the item, and you're able to now control both top bounty runes. Really nicely done there.
I'm liking also the mindset change from PYW. He's now starting to put sentry wards all through the river and with an observer ward so they can see this Meepo's movement. He's almost going to play it like it's a Ricky. Stinger will cup a lot of damage, but Tide won't force the issue. He still doesn't know what's up that hill.
He's going to have a Ravage active in just a moment as well.
This primary Meepo was just waiting for something. Top lane Wyvern may be dying if Ori wanted to commit.
They've got
Can't read.
Finger plus Veil.
They're pinging bottom lane again. I need to get the Dream Call. Secondary support's coming in. Here's your Dream Call starting over on Eurus. He'll time dilate. Chris Luck. Okay, he's thinking twice about this. Like, Whisper, I'm sorry, bro. You forced a lot of rotations. I hope that was worth it.
Really nice job. I mean, Void's talents, I swear, have got to be some of the best in Dota. Part of the reason his win rate's so damn high.
Oh, Curse is out. They're just keeping Ori in position. Meepo's still wrapping around the back. He's going to go into the Shadow Blade to try and close this distance on Ori. And more Meepos need to arrive battling under the ward. They just hold him in position. You don't care about how much damage you take from that nether ward. You'll pick it off in just a second. Tidehunter moving into the back lines. Has Ravage going to pop, but we have to battle into the trees with the Anchor Smash. It will allow the kill onto Scottfeld, but with no Ravage available and no Chronosphere and no real support nearby, what have you got? Mirana Arrow will fly forward, connect on one of the Meepos. The Anchor Smash is good with the Will-O-Wisp pulling both in Mirana and the Tidehunter, and they've already switched targets. The Earthbind, however, hits none.
Time to regroup now. You got the Ravage. Xiao Yi, man, he is just... I love that he's not afraid to use Ravage just for kills. Even if it's just one hero, it's very tough to force a team fight into Beast Coast because they're really not looking for them. They want to play more this guerrilla style around the map, find pickoffs. He's already level 15 on the Tide.
Somebody want to get that bounty rune that's sitting down on bottom? There we go, Chris will see it.
That's actually incredible. The Tide is the highest level in the game. Consider he's playing up against a Meepo, top of the network charts. Not an easy feat. Mirana invis now, looking to get aggressive. Chronosphere is active. They're hunting bottom.
You look for those dire sentries, but there isn't anything there. Whisper,
beautiful.
Easy stun into Arrow follow-up, and that's going to be a finger to ensure the kill. Plus 50 or 40. Get a follow-up straight into the Wyvern too.
And ViCi is just so clean. Feels like they're always the ones a step ahead of this Beast Coast lineup.
And now Tidehunter. Yep, a little bit too far out. Get the Anchor Smash off. We need another Earthbind to arrive. And there it is. Follow up into the Wraithfire Blast and whatever other control you want to kind of throw into that Tidehunter. It still takes a long time to get the damage in. That's a Vlad, that's a Solar Crest, and that's a Tidehunter.
Nice job. Next play from Beast Coast. They're in a really strong position if they can get the Aegis. That's their big move. They're going to have E-Blade finished on the Meepo in just a moment. Then they want to pick off, and immediately they could go into the pit. Wraith King has the Midas and the Radiance, of course.
They're losing too much of their outside towers, though. Like now the tier 2 towers are starting to be approached. Whisper shows himself. DY's waiting in the tree lines. There's your Hex to begin. Follow-up stun, combining with the Crepify and the Arrow. It is a perfect synergy of abilities from ViCi Gaming, while the Courier will get sniped out by the Meepo. The Leap, dodging the Earthbind.
But the thing is, they're focusing on Whisper, and sure, his game is in the doldrums, but you've got a Blink, you've got a Veil, you've got both of your QW spells maxed out. It's the Meepo and the Wraith King you've got to be concerned about if you're ViCi.
Here we go with the Glimmer. Again, as this Lion, 2 seconds still takes us off cooldown, but it won't matter when he hits the impound to begin with. There is a quick, fast follow-up.
I mean, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Like, what? Your puck just died there, Chris Luck. You cannot be there all alone.
I think they're getting a little tired. This has been a long day, and they were more than tested in the first series, Beast Coast. But they're still looking to fight.
They want to have a team engagement if they can, but the Ravage is off cooldown.
Yep. But Winter Wyver's looking for a target, able to find DY over in the tree lines. A quick hex. The blast has destroyed a lot, but the Netherward's already down. The Will-O-Wisp pulling back in the line. He can't really walk himself out of this. And they're trying to get rid of the Netherward, able to do so now. And the Lion, well, yeah, he's dead. Worth a decent amount.
They blow the Will-O-Wisp there. I mean, you can see the issue with this Beast Coast line is without Aegis, the Meepo kind of just dies to any sort of burst. If he gets chronoed, if he gets ravaged, really just anything that surprises him. We can already see how well this Lion Mirana support duo is doing, finding kill after kill while still able to conserve their ultimates to find further kills afterwards.
20-minute bounty runes.
The Invis
Ori's able to take it. Time to put that new blade mail to the test, and it won't matter when Ori just steals the line. Free Incarnation already coming.
Ravage ready.
Keeper of the line is going to be there to help out the Ravage. Triggers only over on 2. Is there an extra support? Is there a blinding line? Is there nothing? He doesn't actually have it up. And, well, meanwhile, Whisper finding his own kill on the Mirana, just north of Roshan.
Nice sidestep.
Curse is out.
Curse.
Lion trapped in. Pugner. It's actually some good base damage. 135 combining with the Cold Blast. DY doesn't have the life to survive. Ori, TP, if they've got any other control. There's a blinding line, but that don't stun.
But whoa, Chris Luck found Eurus. What the? He got Chrono and somehow still what?
I don't know if we have that on an offside camera, if we just weren't seeing that on program, but either way, Beast Coast will now look to the tier 1 tower in mid lane. There's a movement through the rear. Meepo, he's found the Pugner as well. He's going to Earthbind him, the instant stun from K1, making sure they can follow up with another E-Blade pop, and it won't matter when Stinger's got the Illuminate to fly out.
And both these teams
now you go
slap themselves a bit, man. That's like another... Or's trying to solo defend a tower as a Pugna. Chris Luck, this team, it's Beast Coast. They got a killer instinct. You can't hide behind a tower. You're going to get found out. And there you go, one opening, boom, into the pit. All of a sudden, Meepo will have that second life, which is huge. You're playing against these mega long cooldowns. Chrono, Ravage, Lion Finger. If you could blow a couple of them for just the Aegis, on respawn, you might just, it doesn't even matter if you win a fight, right? You can just start walking high ground, perhaps, knowing that they don't necessarily have the tools to take you down.
So now you've got 4 heroes to break through. 2 Wraith Kings, 2 Meepos. VG Gaming need to find so much
8
sustain.
Meepos.
8 Meepos. 2 rounds of Meepo.
And he's going to be going, is that a Hex he's looking to complete on the Meepo? Nope, a Silver Edge, man. Okay, so now you solo kill Tide if you open on him as just the Meepo. DD bot, somebody might look to scoop that up, perhaps even just bait it if you're Beast Coast. Love this pickup though, Blink on the Tide Hunter. You don't want to force your Void to have to initiate. Allow him, especially with this BKB pickup, to just leap forwards, find damage for 5-10 seconds within a fight, and chrono afterwards, because otherwise you make it way too easy for Wyvern to play the game. Now Tide, head on a swivel, you find the supports, boom, blow them up. Now Void's free to find the next kill.
The tower wasn't even denied. Now Ori's going to lose his life. The bind is there. He wants to get himself away, but will it be possible for the Pugna?
And Ori, there's this great ward on the shrine. They see him walking up. Chris Luck, no problem finding the backstab.
Anyone bring some counter sentries to plant down for Beast Coast? Fresh Observer and Sentry. They just keep the chase going on the Pug. It's a good double stun. Meatball's right behind, but they all poof it. And the Curse is on the line. They'll hold him there with the Tide Hunter pounding into him with the Will-O-Wisp. Now Tide Hunter can't escape either. It's just chain bind after chain bind. Then combining with the poof.
Beautiful. Chris Luck hit that Silver Edge hit just as the Wyvern Curse was fading, and then he's able to lock him down 100-0, no problem. Mid tower is going to die.
You just go up. There's 60 seconds without a Tide Hunter.
No buyback either. They don't know that, however.
Arrow flies forward. It's only going to be a skeleton that catches it. But K1's just like poking. Is anyone here? Is anyone really looking to defend? If not, looks like Meepo's gone back to take care of the tier 2 tower on top lane instead.
It's just respect for the Ravage, right? You know that at any moment, perhaps a buyback into a huge team fight could you end up squandering your advantage. It's 7K lead for Beast Coast. This is not negligible.
And and they just keep going though. So Scarfield a little bit behind everybody else, and let's actually see this fight once again.
Whisper using his body as bait. He ends up just barely going down to that PYW Starfall, and you can see Chris Luck just immediately look to turn onto the Tide. I like how he's playing it. They backed up, but Chris Luck didn't just go back to farm. He left his Meepo top pushing out for a bit. His main Meepo went to start hunting towards bottom in case somebody, probably Ori, unwisely started wandering down a lane all alone.
Beast Coast with great map control and always making sure the side lanes are pushed in. This feels like a pretty damn good strat to me.
And I said that they were up against a, like, ViCi is better late game in theory, right? But it's not the same as the previous game where Morphling just suddenly becomes not just unkillable, but the ultimate weapon.
It's meant to be their synergy together, right?
This is more ViCi having to abuse better team fight, and they're against the K1 Wraith King, man. This is probably the best in the game at playing this hero. You've got a Chris Luck Meepo that's continued to impress, and they're 4,000 gold ahead of the game each.
And this hunt just continues. Tidehunter can see him coming and blinks away. Observers and sentries. Money needs to be spent on this, and yeah, they'll see up the hill. Tidehunter walks in under the cover of Moonlight Shadow, gets rid of that sentry ward, but they find a bigger target. Yule Scepter over on the Wyvern. He's got 4-star for Valvel, gets a little bit further out to safety. Xiao Yi, he's still doing D-warding in the middle of this fight. Remove that vision.
Oh, Chris Luck.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, DY.
Arrow drawn towards the base. Wraith King pops the BKB.
And they just keep going, but the BKB being burned, that's a huge cooldown timer. 10 seconds on it. Same thing for K1, however. They are both down. Almost feel like Beast Coast need to start getting a gem for the amount of sentry wards that are all around this mid lane.
The Mirana invis, too, is so annoying for them to deal with. It's been an interesting game thus far. Beast Coast definitely in the lead, but all it takes is one mistake. And if there's a squad you got to be careful against, it's ViCi Gaming, especially when they've got all this team fight.
And they're coming to use it. 5-man smoke up. Of course, it happens at the same time as Beast Coast grab all 4 25-minute bounty runes. And they're keeping the pressure on the bottom lane. The skeleton minions will do most of that work. You know Whisper will also be there to nuke down the waves.
Here they come.
But where's the target?
They know there's vision up there. They gotta be really careful.
Server and Sentry is good. Yule Scepter, but it's the Wraith King. It's not the target you want to go on. He gets the Blade Mail off as well. They can't instantly attack into him.
Oh, Void.
The support Void. He has to Chrono with the back lines. He got caught up by the Meepo. The Ravage will create space, holding down the Beast Coast support heroes. But now, K1, dead.
He got drained. They actually stopped dealing damage with other heroes, and the Pugna mana drain off the ultimate was enough to ensure that he actually died instead of popping the reincarnate. Really cool heads-up play from ViCi to stop DPS. Reminds me of that video where stop deeps, stop DPS, more dots. No? It's old school. You probably don't remember.
I'm sorry, I'm too young for that.
Pipe, by the way, on Whisper. And this is necessary. Yeah, it's nice to go the flashier style, but somebody's got to get the support out. Look at the magic damage on ViCi. The pipe is so useful for your friendly Meepo. Passive magic resist plus the 400 barrier.
Oh, they see Tide Coddle. He wants to get the hell out of there. Mirana, hot on the mounted trail.
This is the time for Beast Coast. They just finished a Hex on Chris Luck. There's no Ravage, there's no Chrono. Hell yeah, you hide in these trees. As soon as Wraith King respawns, you want to go find a fight.
What are you going to get? There's a Tidehunter nearby, Mirana and Lion. There's no sentry wall for the first time in forever. There's no sentry. The Will-O-Wisp, he can't leap away. Got pulled back in and then held in place by the Dream Call. They had detection of their own with the dust, allowing them to get through the Lion. But Beast Coast need to keep fighting a little bit harder. Where's your target, Mirana? She's gone east into the trees. The Splinter Blast following her over. Can they have any kind of stun, Mirana? No, she'll complete the TP out. They got one. They got the Lion dead for a minute. But is that enough?
He has no buyback. You have maybe 30 seconds of a 5-on-4, but those big cooldowns for ViCi will be coming back up in a moment.
It's 36 seconds on the Chrono, 45 seconds on the Tidehunter. And I look towards the top lane. Winter Wyvern can force staff and get that ulti out, but Meepo, he found his bigger target, but underneath the Sentry Ward, faces Void, felt it as well, but the Hex, they'll hit so hard, so fast, and the Pugna draining out, combining with the arrow. Chris Luck will go down. A huge spree to be ended, while Winter Wyvern has to throw the curse on the Tidehunter. Wraith King trying to come in to help out. A quick stun over on the Mirana. Is there more help? Keeper of the Light is there, and he can help K1 with his own fight. Blinding Light pushing him up, man, that movement from Whisper, catching PYW on the back of the leap. to get the kill. Now they turn their attention over towards the Tidehunter. Without that Silver Edge, it'll be a difficult kill. Not impossible, however. K1's got a lot of damage, so does Whisper.
And this guy's puck is so good. And as soon as he finishes that Ags, all of a sudden the BKB on Eurus, worthless. Ori, stuck. Wherever it is, he gets coiled. In a really nice position now, because they do lose to Meepo, but they find 3 in return. You take those. Roshan spawning in 30 seconds to 3 minutes 30. That's the big window for Beast.
And Meepo was worth 1,028 gold, but he waited this out. Like there was no chrono to work with, no jump out. Okay. That's how it started.
You're gonna have another Silver Edge on the Wraith King too. This Beast Coast lineup, I kind of like this decision. If you think about it, do you really ever want to go toe-to-toe against this ViCi lineup? You do not want to play a revolutionary war style. You want to hide in the trees, come out of nowhere, find a pick-off, find another. Any choke point engagement, as Alan's so fond of bringing up, would definitely go this way.
3 seconds of the 3 minute. Instantly scouted out by Stinger and the arrow as well of Mirana. Everybody knows this, and maybe we can go into what our second series was, the 30-minute standoff around Roshan.
Yeah, it's tough because ViCi, you do it so slowly, but you might win the fight in the pit. Beast Coast, they hang on.
30-minute bounty rune, that's what they're going for. Faces Void's very uncertain that the rest of his team was going to come. The Will-O-Wisp will try and create some space to force stuff out from the Wyvern. He'll Cold Embrace. Have they got enough damage? Yep, the Magical is there with the Maelstrom proc.
Yeah, the rest of the team nowhere in sight, but they do trade Chrono for the Cuddle Out along that easy pickup.
Okay, like ships in the night, they all pass by, and then arrow. Hey, I found myself a kill. Mirana will fall, not realizing he was next to 2 invisible heroes while Wraith King's having his own battle. Still has reincarnation available. But there's a big army of the dead marching down mid lane, but remember, Roshan's the key target. Beast Coast are just creating space for Meepo to do this.
At the moment you use Chrono, Roshan's no longer something you can fight if you're ViCi.
Even with Ravage, it feels like they need both of them to battle against Beast Coast at the moment.
And Meepo approaching that delicious level 25 talent plus 400 health for every Meepo. Heart will be his next item of choice, just trying to increase that survivability because the ViCi damage output, it's still very limited in the sustained DPS department. You have a ton of burst around your big ultimates, but after that, you know, who's actually dealing that right-click damage, right? Void in theory, but he's got a Midas and a Maelstrom. These are not enough items to truly deal damage. You need the Butterfly. Really, you need a Butterfly plus a Mjolnir, plus maybe the next thing after that. And then all of a sudden, things can turn on their head. Has the Time Wall cast range. Now it'll be easier to move around in fights.
Actually have 2 Silver Edges. That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Tidehunter? Friends?
Dude, ViCi, that's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen a core hero just kind of wandering out in the forest by himself. Use the buddy system, guys.
I feel like he's playing Minecraft. I just need to keep expanding the map until I find a nice, brilliant place to set up a house. Unfortunately, Ori occupied.
I like this. I think Beast Coast, we saw them do this in the first game. It worked. They didn't win, but they hit a timing. They're 15K ahead. Holy crap, this lead is insane.
Yep.
I did not realize how much it had grown.
Now, the only difference was they hadn't taken the lane of Rax in this game. Fortification. Trying to stop K1 from just beating down the tower. Minus efficiency. That tier 3 tower will now drop. Moonlight Shadow, the wrap around the back. This is what ViCi want, the blink from Tidehunter. Look at K1, he just goes straight into it. They get the son of the Will-O-Wisp, need to create more space. The Ravage is out. Puck protected by the Cold Embrace, but still brought down by the magical damage. Again, that Maelstrom proc of Eurus doing its work as he jumps forward towards K1, time locking down this Wraith King. He still has the mana to have the reincarnation off, and I'm waiting for that curse. Still also available, the BKBs being burnt up, and they're gonna start to expire in just a second. Mirana unable to get that secondary leap up and away from the Earthbind. There is your curse out over on Pugner, keeping line in position for the Earthbind. And Chronosphere, it hits almost all of Beast Coast. There was no curse available, but who does he hit? There's so many options, but the options now come the way from Beast Coast. Only the Aegis Immortal is going to burn for the moment. ViCi Gaming trying to reset back up on their own high ground. But the big abilities, all of the big abilities down for the moment. With no Chrono, with no Ravage, the Earthbinds come flying. Buyback in from the Lion. He needs to bring in the Hex and control. He's got the first one over on the Meepo, and maybe a second one. Xiao Yi out a little bit too far with the pop. He can force up himself back up to safety, but Mirana will not be so lucky. Hit by the Collar Blast. Another Earthbind faces Void, being trapped getting straight past the melee rack to find the hero kill. Mirana has to buy back, and Chris Luck already TPing away. They haven't claimed the racks yet. Wraith King, Reincarnation, it was up the drain. It wasn't fast enough, so K1 will respawn. The arrow stun timing, not absolutely perfect. Eurus having to burn this BKB once more, searching for a new target, and they just keep pushing. They just keep kiting. Now re-engage in for BC. Over towards their hero. What have they got? A double dream call. That's what they got. A great Ravage done almost onto the Meepo, but it won't stop Faces Void from dying. They just keep pushing Beast Coast, claiming the full lane of racks on bottom. DY's finger, not enough to kill off the puck, and then Pugda rooted eternally, maybe even into the Founders. It won't happen. The buyback still coming in from VG Gaming. DY hanging in the trees. The 4 stars from Beast Coast now allowing to disengage, and they're going for the second lane of racks. No mistake like game 1. They want to keep this push going. But VG, have they still got fight in them?
What a fight. Beast Coast, they might just get Megas out of this push. No buyback Tide, no buyback Void. And look at this, Chris Luck still hunting. He's gonna find Killenori anyway, and yeah, they called it. They would have just got wiped anyway.
We are going the distance. We are going to 3. It's gonna be a long day 1 here at ESL 1 Hamburg 2019. But if you're a Beast Coast fan, you're loving this. The hopes are kept alive. This feels though like such comfort. There's a couple of ripples in the concentration of the players as they are really now being tested for stamina, but the Meepo works perfect, the Wraith King, the Park, everything just felt good for Beast Coast.